is a run-first team, and I'm excited for the Michigan Wolverines to bring in 3 guys. This guy knows what it takes to play in the SEC for Alabama and a new offense that really relies on the run game.
Donovan Edwards, Blake Corum, we could go on and on. Michigan, they were known for running the football, and
Michigan's backfield gets a major boost with 3 incoming transfer running backs. We're going to break them all down for you right here. Brad, when we've looked at Michigan in the past, we've thought about the run game.
Mm-hmm.
We looked at J.J. McCarthy. We looked at other guys in the past. Yes, they were good quarterbacks, but they really relied on the run game.
Yeah.
They relied on guys like Donovan Edwards and other guys. This is a run-first team, and I'm excited for the Michigan Wolverines to bring in 3 guys to help out that young freshman quarterback who, by the way, was the first freshman quarterback, or I believe first freshman player maybe, to make the EA Sports college football video game cover. So shout out there as well. But Brad, let's start off with the first guy because there's 3 guys to break down here. Let's start off with Haynes, Justice Haynes. This guy knows what it takes to play in the SEC for Alabama. Was recruited, I believe, by Nick Saban. Played under Nick Saban. Now he wants a fresh start and a new offense that really relies on the run game. I think it was a great idea to transfer, in my opinion, to the Wolverines. Thoughts on this first guy and what's he bring to the Wolverines fan base?
Yeah, this is Haynes, right down the road from us at Buford. So a guy that we're familiar with, was very, very highly rated coming out of Buford here in Georgia, and then goes to Alabama. Productive. But Nate, a guy to me, and we talked about a couple of them in this episode, has not quite lived up to the expectations yet. I really think a case of, Alabama's running back room is always loaded. I really think it's a good move for him in his career that he needed some fresh scenery. And you mentioned it, Donovan Edwards, Blake Corum. We could go on and on. Michigan, that run under Jim Harbaugh, they were known for running the football. And I think Haynes, this is a really, really good move for Justice. I think he has a chance to really revitalize his career. I know you're going to talk about the NFL comp, but I think a guy that with a good year at Michigan, I think he'll probably, if he, I don't remember right off hand if he has 2 more years of eligibility left, but a guy that I think can, with a productive year, can work his way back up into a chance to be an NFL draft pick. But I like the move for him. I really do.
I think one thing that all 3 running backs have in common when I'm looking at my notes and I'm studying the film, they all have the ability to catch out of the backfield.
Yeah.
When you talk about bringing in a new OC who likes to throw it down the field, this is exactly where Michigan wants to be. They want to be a run-first team, and they want the ability to catch you off balance and set up that screen game, set up maybe a wheel route for the running back, anything to get the running back into play action, whatever it takes. They're a run-first team, and I think it's super important and super smart of Michigan to go out and get 3 guys that can all catch the ball. Now, when we're talking about Justice Haynes specifically, I look at a guy like DeAndre Swift. That's my best NFL comparison. Former Georgia running back, now plays for the Chicago Bears. Played for the Lions for a little bit as well. Swift, 5'9", 215. Haynes, 5'11", 210. They both exhibit a combination of quickness, balance, and receiving ability. Swift's proficiency in both the running and passing games has made him a versatile threat in the NFL, and I think Justice Haynes does the same thing. He's going to be a great attribute to a young quarterback, Bryce Underwood, or Mikey Keene, whoever ends up playing that out. I think Underwood's the guy. I don't think you can pay a guy $10 million and not allow him to play.
Yeah.
But that's my NFL comparison on Justice Haynes, and I think he's going to bring a lot to the Michigan offense. Jumping to our next back, CJ Hester, an underrated guy, solid numbers at UMass, put up a fight against the UGA. I think you were at that game. I can't remember. But I was scratching my head going, what's going on here, Georgia?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I was at that game and looked back at just, some plays. And I won't say that UMass offensive line was taken over, but Hester, CJ Hester a few times just jump cut. He found the right place to run the football. He found his lane. And so, look, that's a guy that to me is valuable to have in that Michigan running back room. And I think a guy that, look, UMass is not known for huge football talent, but a guy that I think is going to be a very, very valuable asset. I look at Haynes and Hester. Definitely, I don't think they're going to ask one to carry the ball 25 times. I think they're truly going to be a 1-2 combo. And then the third guy that we'll talk about in a second will definitely have an impact. But I like these. I like the pickup. You mentioned. I think we both are of the opinion it's going to be Bryce Underwood.
Yeah.
I think it's going to probably be later in the year. I think they're going to give Mikey Keene a shot, but they're going to lean Chip Lindsey and Michigan. They're going to lean on this running game, and adding these two guys it's a home run move for sure.
Yeah, my NFL comparison for CJ Hester, Cincinnati Bengals running back Chris Evans. This is a guy who is very underrated as well. You know, shares the same skill set as CJ Hester, characterized by agility, vision, and the ability to contribute, again, like I said, both in the running and passing game. And that's what Michigan wants to do this year. Michigan wants whoever's at quarterback to have the ability to either throw it or run the ball.
Yeah.
Even with Underwood, I mean, these are two guys that fit perfectly in read option situations, which is something to consider as well.
Absolutely.
It's going to be exciting to watch this Michigan offense. We know their offensive line is going to be big and physical as always. That's not going to go anywhere. I'm excited to see what the Michigan running back room can do. And then we move on to our third guy, and John Volker, added from one of the most underrated leagues in all college football, that being the Ivy League. This is a guy who's big, physical. To me, he reminds me of a bowling ball. I believe he comes in at about 6 foot, 215, 220, and yet still runs a 4.47 40. He can really turn on the jets and get moving. What are your thoughts on John Volker?
Yeah, I mean, I think Justice and CJ are definitely going to be more of the primary backs, but here's a guy that, to me, Nate, you bring in the third quarter and fourth quarter, give him some snaps to wear down a defense, to give these guys a breather, but also a guy, you know, when you go split backfield, he could be in that split backfield. He could be a lead blocker some if Michigan, you know, doesn't want to use a traditional fullback. He could play that role. Also, you know, two other areas, you know, just being a locker room guy. I mean, Ivy League guy, you know, he's bright, but, you know, also just a guy that's seen a lot of football, just a guy that, you know, you want to have in your locker room. And then finally, these type of guys always usually find a place on special teams. And when you have these guys that are willing to play special teams, that they'll get in there and they'll block and they're willing to tackle, that's very, very valuable.
This is a big physical guy, Brad. You mentioned the fullback position. This guy takes pride in being a power runner and is very athletic for a power runner. Like I said, 4.4 40, has a 40-inch vertical, and he also squats over 565 pounds. This is a big kid. And listen, Michigan is not going to bring in a kid from an Ivy League school if they don't think that he has the potential to be great in the running back room, both with leadership and capabilities. When I think of a guy like John Volker, I think of Michigan fans, get ready for this one, former Michigan running back from the 1982 NFL Draft first-round pick, Butch Woolfolk, a big physical runner at the point of attack. Volker coming in at 6 foot 210. Woolfolk coming in at 6'1", 210. Both exhibit a combination of speed, power, versatility, and they've got traits in the passing game along with the running game. These are two exceptional guys. And when I look at a guy like Volker, I know all the eyes are going to be on Justice Haynes. I know all the eyes are going to be on CJ Hester because they have more predominant experience in the SEC and at higher level talent. But don't sleep on this John Volker kid. I think he could really make some key plays for that Michigan Wolverines offense. He knows how to play in the cold. He knows what it's like to play at a lower level. So you know the work ethic is there. Wasn't getting paid before. Probably isn't getting paid now. But now he gets his shot. Now he gets a chance to go play in the Big Ten. And, man, that's exciting for the Michigan team.
Absolutely.
If you're a Michigan Wolverines fan, let us know about what you think about your new three-headed monster coming in to the Big Ten this year at the running back room. Can it be the difference maker? Is it going to help Bryce Underwood or Mikey Keene at the quarterback position take a huge load off of them and rely heavy on the run game, add some depth, add some veteran leadership, and so much more? Be sure to subscribe down below, like this video, and turn on that bell notification so you can stay up to date when we post our latest content. We'll see you next week. It's time to break the hop.